Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trust to tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am your unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy unicorn luchador himself, Ray Scoot Stereo.
You know, once again, I wish I had a luchador mask, but then I don't want it to be considered cultural appropriation either. So, you know, weird logistics on my end, but y'all get the gist. Y'all get the gist. Y'all get it.
And last but not least, ladies of the IWC, the heartthrob of your community, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic. If they treated Shotzi like they treated Bianca at SummerSlam, he wouldn't be back.
I damn sure don't want to be back.
Oh, I'm sure. You know what? And
how do you
a hot tag with an intro? This is how crazy the shit was this weekend, is that my mind is completely warped, because normally with a hot tag we kind of just jump in, but I think it was probably appropriate for an intro anyway because of all the bullshit that we're going to be talking. This hot tag and recap of this pay-per-view weekend is not going to be how we normally do things, because again, it's WWE. It's not like it's AEW, so we're not finna go match by match. We'll probably cover most of the matches, but if we don't care, if we don't care about it, we're not covering it.
but
think of it like how I covered Dark, or Elevation, whichever.
But SummerSlam, you know what? How about this? I'll do y'all one better. Other than what happened in that one particular match that we're going to discuss later, what were y'all's two overall thoughts on SummerSlam?
Maybe one of the weaker.
Before we get into it, what were your overall thoughts on SummerSlam?
Maybe one of the weaker SummerSlams I've seen.
Yeah, it was pretty dry. It was pretty dry.
It reminded me
some bullshit, but yeah.
It reminded me why I have trouble watching WWE on a regular, because it feels like it's lost life. Because you go into these matches, you're not. I mean, outside of maybe like RK Bro and AJ Styles and Omos, you really don't feel like there's anything and then of course Edge and Rollins. But I mean, y'all get it. The majority of these matches feel like they just don't have any real build. They don't keep you invested. It's not something that I look forward to, like, again, and I hate comparing the whole AEW thing, but when we think about AEW, there's so much invested in like the feuds and the buildup of matches, to the point to where, we look forward to the pay-per-view, to where it's like we get invested throughout the entirety of the show, regardless of who's on the card. It's because of the amount of care that they place in each match and each superstar, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it's WWE, man.
Yeah, because even Ashley made the comment to me talking about how is it that you're watching the pay-per-views but you don't even watch Raw or SmackDown, and I'm like, they show packages and you can just piece it together.
Yeah. And that. All right. So the show started off with, aside the pre-show match, I didn't really care for it because, look, Big E got his briefcase back. So cool. But honestly, it'd be different if like anybody could cash in a briefcase, like Cena signing contracts with somebody else's name on it. If everything worked like that, then maybe there'd be a sense of intrigue. But, it just stops Big E from cashing in his own briefcase. He'll eventually get it back. We all know this.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't there it was just he got it back from the Miz, right?
Who, Big E?
No, he got it back from Corbin.
Corbin.
Oh, Corbin. That's right. I'm thinking about Miz with Otis.
Otis, yeah.
No, but That's so annoying. Like, what was Corbin's plan? Like, oh, I'm gonna go cash in Big E's briefcase. They'll be like, no, that's not yours.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It just something that doesn't make sense.
Just to also give another caveat, only because I'm here, I'm live watching Raw, and it looks like the Miz is about to betray Morrison. But yeah.
Not Johnny Drip Drip.
Yeah, because the Miz wrestled Woods just now, so apparently Miz is clear to wrestle again.
Okay,
but
we're good on that.
Why would you split that?
Yep. All right. Yep. It just happened. Miz just started attacking Morrison.
Huh?
Why?
Yeah. Was there a reason for that?
To spin off people because we're here. You know, Johnny started doing Moist TV. And Morrison was getting, because he had Logan Paul on Moist TV. I don't know why Logan Paul was there.
Stop saying Moist TV.
Yeah, it's the name that's more so getting me. It's just like
I'm at least say it one more time. So during the segment, Miz came out and was like, "Hey, you only got Moist TV because I let you." Da 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 da. And Morrison was talking about how he always wanted to hog the spotlight. Blah blah blah. And then Woods came out, led to that match. Woods beat Miz with the most devastating finisher in wrestling, the roll up. And now Miz just beating the shit out of Morrison right now. But back to what you were saying, Yeager. Sorry. I guess that was his plan. I guess he figured just because he had the briefcase, regardless if it belongs to E or not, that he could cash it in and win the title or something. I don't know.
That's not the dumbest logic.
Oh, speaking of Big E, I don't know if any of y'all listen to the New Day podcast, but Big E was jokingly on the podcast by saying, he doesn't cash in the briefcase to win the title. He wants to cash in the briefcase so he can get his last name back. He wants to be the first one.
How would that even work?
He said he wants there to be a camera where he goes to the WWE offices. He finds somebody up in corporate and be like, "Here, this is to get my last name back." And then for him to go on SmackDown the next night, and for the people wondering why he doesn't have a briefcase anymore, he would have showed them the footage that he cashed it in to get Langston back.
That's actually brilliant.
I would just say good luck. Good luck.
What is it with WWE and like taking off last names?
I think the only person that got their last name back was Apollo.
Yeah.
He's the only one that got his last name back. Everybody else, nothing.
But I guess that's what Corbin's thought was. Regardless of how it played out, he could have took the case, cashed it in, even though it didn't belong to him. I don't know.
Anyway.
Well,
but I knew E was going to win that. So.
That was a given. Which, I mean, I'm not mad for Big E being able to be on the card. I mean, that's good for him. I appreciate that. But I just wish it was in a better capacity. Because, I mean, just because they get the briefcase doesn't mean that you can't put them in meaningful feuds as well. I mean, look what they did with Rollins while he was in Authority. The same thing with when Edge, when he had his. They didn't do much with CM Punk when he got the briefcase. But, yeah, I mean, it can be done, clearly. But from there, the show actually did start off right. I didn't expect this match to be the first match, but I'm not mad at it. Only gripe that I have with this match is that I would have hoped that they would have done more with Almost and make that, because I mean, granted they are protecting him, which I'm fine with too, but at the same time, I wish that he would have imposed a bigger threat, and they would have had to have done more to actually surmount him in a way. I mean, to me personally, they could have taken out the match after it to give that match more time, in my opinion. But yeah, what were y'all thoughts on the first match?
It was, I mean, you called it a few, like a month or so back that RK Bro was going to be champions. And the moment it happened, it was like, okay, let them become champions.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good match nonetheless, but once again, it was kind of known that RK Bro was going to be champions.
Yeah.
So that's why it was kind of like so
and with that, and my bad for cutting you off, Jaeger.
Yeah, you're good.
And that's one of the issues that I have is that it with NXT and AEW, we could know the outcome of the match, but when you get invested enough into trying to sway us different, I'm fine with that, even if I know the outcome. With this, the match in itself, not bad in any way, shape, or form, but it felt like it was just there to give us the new champs. It didn't take us on a ride.
It's almost reminiscent of when AJ and Almost fought the New Day. It was like we knew AJ and Almost was going to become tag champions.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Mm-hmm. So it was almost very similar to that fashion. Especially since they've been making RK Bro a thing of the whole, are they going to be a team? Will they not be a team? They broke up as a team. They got back together as a team. So it wouldn't have made sense that they lost that match Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it 2 weeks and they're gonna and Randy Orton's gonna betray him.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I'm like, damn, I would hate that, but that's WWE logic, I wish. Then I wish what they would have done is they would have kept like the discourse between them, like with Randy Orton, like RKOing him every now and then, treating him kind of how The Rock treated Mankind.
Mankind, yeah.
So, but that takes away because now it seems like they're buddy, or it seems that Randy Orton is warming up to the idea of them being buddy. So
all because Riddle saved him the go home show. That's all. That's what happened. Riddle came out and helped him on the go home show, and boom, hey, we're a tag team now.
Okay, not good enough. But yeah, and of course, just like I stated before, I felt like they could have taken the next match off the card completely and then given this more time, but they didn't. And that next match was Alexa Bliss versus Eva Murray.
You know what's funny? That's been the consensus of everybody.
Like, why was it a match?
Why was this on the I've been seeing more negative about this match than good. Of why was this even this should have stayed on Raw. This did not need to take up SummerSlam time.
I gotta admit, I agree. If anything, made it part of the go home show, but definitely didn't need to be on SummerSlam.
Yeah, this match was useless.
And
she stole a doll, and then Alexa Bliss went off on her.
This is why some of this shit kind of baffles me, because it's like, what does? All right, you know what? Fuck it. So I listened to this bullshit ass Nick Khan interview.
Okay.
And this is what pisses me off. One, he got a lot of softball questions because I would have asked a whole bunch of different shit.
Who's the interviewer?
No, Ariel Helwani.
Okay.
Now, nothing against him. He did ask some good questions, but some of the questions that he asked, they may have pushed it a little bit, but it wasn't to where it's like, yo, what's up? Because he asked one of the questions regarding why are there so many releases, who goes in decision making these releases. And basically the way he answered every question like a real businessman would answer questions. It was I see why you got hired, bro. You got hired because you can bullshit your way through interviews and you can actually paint. You can take chicken shit and wrap it up in a nice package and serve it to somebody. I get that, but
okay.
One of the answers that he gave within that question was, we look at who's relevant now and who's going to move the needle, moving forward in the present and moving forward in the future. So I say that, and I bring that up to say, what was the fucking point of bringing in Eva Marie when she does nothing to move the needle? And with the fans in this, what's the end game for her? Nothing against Eva Marie at all, but when you make a statement like that and you end up letting go of Bray Wyatt, Buddy Murphy, the list of people goes on and on and on, but people that are way more talented than Eva Marie. Again, nothing against Eva Marie, but if I take the list of people that they release and I put her on that same list, she would be way down at the bottom. Go ahead.
Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but
you're fine.
At this point, it kind of is against Eva Marie. This is her second stint.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying that
still has not improved ring-wise.
So I see what. Yeah, so that makes sense. So there's accountability on that part for her too.
They rehired this woman,
and they rehired her, so it would be different. Because I mean, it would be different if Eva Marie was kind of like a Emma situation where she was fired. Oh, everything good, rehired. No, it was years in between Eva Marie's stints with the company, and still no ring improvement.
Like, what were you doing between these years?
Yeah,
or even if you want to take it further, you knew there was word or murmurs of you coming back. You still wasn't doing things to improve your skills in the ring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Because in my assumption was that they had this whole storyline of Piper Niven. I'm not calling her Dewdrop. Piper Niven.
Please don't.
Being like her heavy, but to the point to where she was doing all these matches, and I figured that okay, well, once Eva Marie got in the ring, she was actually going to show us something. Like there's a reason why they're keeping this out of the ring and stuff like that. But when you get into it and you see the chemistry between her and Alexa Bliss, and this whole match is just one, it was completely for nothing because there's barely did anything happen within this match. It's like her in-ring is trash, her acting is trash, her promo skills are trash. Again, nothing against Eva Marie. I'm playing. I mean everything against Eva Marie. She's fucking trash. Period. Yeah. To be perfectly honest, the only good thing about that was like maybe even like the whole taking Lily and slapping her around thing to get some type of heat. Cool. But y'all have made Lily this whole entity this whole time of like this supernatural BS, and yet nothing happens to Eva Marie after she smacks it all around.
She didn't catch fire. She didn't, like, the lights didn't go out and she was dropped, like nothing.
And this is why I stated before, how are they going to continue to do all this BS in the Thunderdome and then try to expect fans to not make sense of all this? WWE treats all their fans, their diehard fans, like idiots.
Yo.
Like they treat everybody like they're 7-year-old children watching this product. And
then, well, hold on. Then apparently, this weekend was going to determine if they keep Lily around anyway, because apparently they started selling replica dolls, and I guess depending on how the sales of the dolls do, depends on if they keep Lily around anyway.
Okay.
That's interesting that they say that. So they said basically, depending on how many dolls sell, they're going to keep Lily around as a character. Yet, when Rusev was the highest selling merch seller, you let him go. When Bray Wyatt is the highest selling merch seller, you let him go. So not only are they inconsistent with their storylines, they're inconsistent with their business practices. And yet, this is the company you diehards follow. This is your king.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bullshit.
Oh, and a little spoiler warning. Fuck anybody who was defending that Becy Lynch and Bianca situation. But we'll get there later.
That's our main event.
1000% on Scooter.
But yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Next, I mean, after that, you had the United States Championship. Sheamus naming Priest.
It was known because Priest was the one stepping up to him after he was done beefing with Humberto. It was pretty set in stone that Priest was going to be the one to take that belt off of Sheamus. Wasn't a bad match. happy for Priest that he got gold. So, hopefully this does well for Priest. That puts him in a better spot down the line. You know?
I hate saying this, but I don't see much coming out of this because of how they've treated him so far. So he has an uphill battle for himself.
He does,
and I don't know how that's going to help him in any way, shape, or form. The only notable thing out of this whole match for me didn't even happen during the match. It happened during his interview where Tiffany Haddish called him the national champion. WWE national champion.
And then my initial thought was, why is Tiffany Haddish there?
Because they couldn't get Mike Tyson or Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion.
Like,
weren't they blessing
that was the only segment Tiffany Haddish was in, right?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out that and the whole Mario Lopez thing because I think those are the only two.
Well, that's another goddamn thing. So,
well, Mario Lopez has in and outs with the company, so I wasn't tripping with Mario. Lopez.
Right. I would have expected Maria Menounos.
I thought so too.
They were both on the same show.
Yeah.
On the little talk show, whatever.
That's also true too.
Why not get them both? You have all WWE.
So now we were 3 matches in, 4 if you count the pre-show. And I think around this time, Mike kind of texted me and we was kind of like, "Are you enjoying what you're seeing right now?" And I was like,
yeah, it's just the way, because it's like you had the AJ and Almost versus RK Bro situation, which was cool. And then everything kind of just started to do this, especially after the Eva Murray and Alexa Bliss match. And then it's hard because it's like the opposite of having a bomb ass match and you're like, yo, follow that. And then you can't do as good as the previous match. But when you have something that pretty much just takes the wind out of everybody's sails, and then you got to follow that shit, it's like, yo, you have to try to get everybody hyped up again. And it's like, if nobody really cares about who's in it, it's like, what do you expect? Because again, you have all these fucking rematches. You've already had Damian Priest and Sheamus have a match, have that, because now they're doing the whole title eliminator shit that AEW's doing and doing it way worse because it already fills WWE with all their rematches. It's like, oh, nope, this is par for the course for them because all they're going to do is have one match, then have another match, and then have another match, and then you can have a pay-per-view with that same match. Just like the next match, Usos and the Mysterios.
How many times have we seen this?
The last pay-per-view.
We've seen a combination of the Usos and the Mysterios ever since Usos took the titles. There's been a combination of this ever since Usos. Either it's been one-on-one matches, it's been 6-man tags, but there's been a Uso and a Mysterio since the Usos won the tag titles.
Which, hey, fuck the rest of your SmackDown tag teams.
Shame on you.
This is the reason why I combat the people who say, "Oh, we don't complain about New Day being champions." If there's only 3 tag teams, who the fuck you think they're gonna give them to? or why the Usos have to be tag champions? Once again, there's only 4 tag teams on SmackDown? So
yeah, I guess, yeah.
Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Usos, and Mysterio. Oh, 5, the Dirty Dogs.
Oh, one of the previous tag team champions.
And the previous tag team champions. Before the Mysterios took it and before the Usos took it. So when you only got 5 tag teams, what the hell you expect?
Yeah. And again, it's not like there was anything really at stake. I didn't feel like the Usos were, in a position to lose their titles in the first place, especially after they got them and they just, the bloodline is complete at this point. So, like, common sense would tell you, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that would have been a better choice to just go ahead and throw another tag team in there against them rather than put the Mysterios in there because it's just
At the very least, if not do another tag team, then make it like a triple threat tag team.
They should have went ahead and made a fatal 4-way with Alpha Academy and the Prophets.
That would have been good.
Something.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Yeah. After this,
great heel work by the Usos, but
always.
Yeah, but other than that, once again, if we wouldn't been seeing a combination of these 4 wrestlers since Money in the Bank, I would have felt differently.
Yeah. Then we had Shinsuke Nakamura come out with his intro for no fucking reason, because instead of defending the Intercontinental Championship, we had to deal with Alexa Bliss and Eva Murray. Yet you have the only championship that matters, because I'm not talking about the 24/7 championship, but you had all the championships defended except for the Intercontinental Championship.
What's up with
that? I guess the funny part enough, I guess they didn't want to do a rematch of Shin and Apollo on SummerSlam, since Shin just won the belt 2 weeks ago.
They could have done it with anybody else, because again, there's no rematch clauses from what they say. Ridiculous. Fuck WWE, man.
Oh no, I'm gonna feel that way when we get to when we say what was really next for last.
Yeah, that's why we're skipping what was actually next, because that's our main event. For those of you who are wondering, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal.
This match kind of made me mad.
It made me mad too, only because of the fact that not just for the fact that I picked Mahal to win. I picked him to win for a reason, because I figured that since him and Drew are friends in real life, that they would, he'd be like, you know what? I don't need the win. You already have a stable that you just got together, and you're about to go into Crown Jewel. So why not put wins on his belt for right now up until Crown Jewel to make him look like an even bigger deal? Because all they're going to do is make him look like a jobber up until Crown Jewel, then all of a sudden make him like this big fucking deal when they go to India. How do you formulate that in your mind to do the opposite and then go back and then do the opposite again when you go into Crown Jewel? It's like, it's not going to make any fucking sense. This is why I don't even look at Crown Jewel as a legit event.
Well, many people don't.
Well, and they shouldn't. But yet this year it's taking the slot of a pay-per-view. So, I don't fucking get it. It's crazy how WWE tends to piss me off the more I talk about them.
This is why I've lowered my stress levels by not watching them.
You know what? I'm kind of starting to agree with Jaeger there.
Reduced it down to three things that I watch by WWE. And
so to be transparent
with
the people here, to be transparent, we skipped Bianca, Carmella, Becky for a reason, because we want to say that last, because we're going to go in on that. After that happened, I stopped caring about this show. My feelings of this show soured so much after what happened. I really didn't care. If it wasn't for the fact of Edge and Rollins and a little bit of Cena and Roman, I really stopped caring. If I was there at that show, I probably would have been damn near ready to leave.
Hey, yeah, you see,
exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. I probably would have been halfway ready to leave after what happened with Becky and Bianca. I probably would have been like, you know what, fuck the rest of this show. I'll catch it on Peacock. Then it probably would have made me realize how much did I pay for them tickets. That probably would have made me stay. Depending on how much I would have paid for the tickets, probably would have been like, maybe I'll go ahead and stay, I guess. But
yeah,
I was damn near ready to cut it off.
I was still gonna. Of course, I stuck it out, and I didn't have the plan to turn it off. I was baffled, but we'll get into that.
But I stopped caring.
Mahal lost. Surprise, but no surprise. So
why was McIntyre waving his sword around afterwards?
That's been
Do you want me to go back and explain it to you?
WWE shit.
Okay, so remember, Mahal and gang took McIntyre out of Money in the Bank.
Right.
So ever since Money in the Bank, they've been beefing.
1
week, Mahal and Sheer took Drew's sword.
Okay.
And when they were so-called saying they were going to fix Drew's sword, they broke it. But then Drew was like, no, that wasn't the real sword. I have the real sword here. And then then McIntyre destroys Mahal's custom motorcycle that he's been showing up to the arenas in. And ever since Money in the Bank, there's been some combination of one of the Sheer members in Mahal beefing with McIntyre for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he waved around that sword because it's the real sword?
I guess it's the real sword, and that's the way to quell a 3-on-1 beatdown is I'm going to threaten to commit assault.
Fucking murder.
I'm a threaten attempted murder if y'all try to get me 3-on-1.
To me, it's almost like saying, okay, you don't find Triple H's sledgehammer shit believable. Here, let me bring a full-on Claymore to the fucking event
right.
and see how you guys like that. Because decapitation is always on the menu.
It's always on the menu.
I'm not even gonna, but you know what? To segue from talking about the Money in the Bank, the women's Money in the Bank winner this year, of course, won the Raw Women's Championship and then went on to defend her title tonight. Nikki ASH against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. So basically, they found a way. Go ahead.
I hate that ASH is an acronym for almost a superhero.
Yes.
They should have just called her Ash and have that last name or Nikki Ash be her superhero persona or name or whatever the fuck.
Something.
I hate that she's announced as ASH. I hate all about that.
Well, they stopped them from saying Ash because at first they were calling her Nikki Ash, but I guess Nikki Ash is too close to Nikki Ass. So that's why now they started calling her Nikki ASH, almost superhero.
I hate it. Let us say Nikki Ass if we want to.
And as we discussed this match, coincidentally, it just went to commercial break with the winner coming out to the ring.
This is the hypocritical stuff that gets me, because we'll come on here and we'll talk about everybody listening to the fans, and you know how WWE doesn't do that, and clearly nobody was buying the whole Nikki Ash thing.
Yeah, because apparently house shows and everything they've been booing and this, that, and the other, so they hasn't been too much on board with the persona.
Now, I remember in the days when most of the veterans back in the day, when something was going on, they'd call an audible during a match and change up the whole landscape as far as like the outcome of the match. So, of course, you don't look at Rhea to do something like that because she's not a veteran right now at this point as far as WWE is concerned. But you look at someone like Charlotte, who has a lot of championships, undeservedly, of course, in my opinion, but you have somebody who they look at in high regards of. So you're telling me that when all three of these women came out and they all got the same ovation, not one boo was for Nikki Ash. You're telling me that because WWE had pulled the trigger on this whole thing and they decided to give up by putting it on Charlotte, you're telling me Charlotte couldn't call an audible and say, you know what? I believe in this person. Let's go ahead and keep the title on and see if this continues.
Then next pay-per-view, if it's not working out,
then take it off.
I can take it off.
Rhea or somebody get it, yeah.
Because if you have, was it 45,000 people in attendance? I mean, 45,000 people in attendance.
Like 53.
No, that's a lied number.
Of course, it's a live number, but I'm just saying 53 is what they said.
For that reason, yeah. About 53,000 people in attendance, and they're all cheering. You're telling me that's going to trump all the house show response? That's bullshit, WWE.
Oh, look, they just showed it. It was 51,000 in attendance.
51,000. They're inflated ass fucking attendance numbers. Even though in Nick Khan's interview, he's the one that said about 45,000 tickets sold.
Ah.
All right, WWE.
Checking.
That's because he didn't want to get the flack for being like, you know what? We know how many tickets were sold. Y'all can fact check me, but whatever. Because I know WWE fans aren't going to come and watch this interview because they hate my fucking guts. I do.
Oh.
I do. I don't like Nick Khan. Anyway. Yeah. So this match was not a bad match for anyone in attendance, obviously. Charlotte's still doing the fucking moonsault. I'll give her props for doing the corkscrew moonsault and actually making it look very good.
I mean, Nikki took all of that to the face, though.
Yes, she did. Yep. Yes, she did. And
just don't turn to Raw if y'all ever had plans, because Thanos is in the ring right now.
Which and that's the thing that pissed me off too, is that her attire, and the thing is I have to do a double take because I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute. Those are not the Infinity Stones. I missed one, and then when she took off the robe, she had one of them, and she had the ones that were surrounding me. I was like, oh, she's supposed to be Thanos because Nikki Ash is supposed to be a superhero.
I'm gonna do something I haven't done since Raw after Mania.
Okay.
He's tuning in, people.
I want to see this bullshit.
But yeah, Thanos is in the ring right now. So
is she still rocking that bullshit?
What bullshit? Oh no. She's talking. She's not in ring attire. She's just talking shit. Oh, so if you haven't figured out, Charlotte made Nikki tap out with the figure 8.
Yeah, basically.
Does she get veneers too?
Yeah, I think she got those a while back.
Yeah,
like months ago.
Like there
I think even like
it doesn't even look like there's individual teeth. It just looks like
one big
mouthpiece. Oh my! She got the Roman Reigns veneers, dude. Those are huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, she's not doing the Thanos thing. All right, I'm done watching.
Yeah, Charlotte with her 27th fucking title win. But to reverse, it's like her 5th, from what they'll probably try to tell you.
Let me see here. They said she, like, in reality it's been what, her 12th, 13th? No, 13th.
I think they counted as 12.
Yeah, but
they counted as 12 now.
NXT wins.
Yeah, since they took away NXT, in a sense, I think they counted as 12. Let me make sure. I think she's now 12-time champion.
Yeah, so now they can give her like 6 more fucking wins out of nowhere. So basically, all these title reigns are going to mean nothing, because what she's going to do now is she's going to feud with somebody, lose the title, go back, win it, lose it again.
She has single-handedly made the women's titles mean nothing.
Oh, I mean, not just her. Not just her.
No,
not just her.
I mean, that's fair.
Somebody else has officially put themselves in the Charlotte Flair boat.
Yeah,
we'll get to her later.
In a way. So next up was Edge and Seth Rollins.
This one made me care again.
Same, because one, Drip King himself came out, and I love his attire.
Yes, that's the first time he has changed his attire in like a minute, like a long while. And then one of the surprises of the night, Edge coming out to the Brood's music. The moment I saw that, I was like, "Fuck, Edge gonna win." I immediately was like, "Well, I made the wrong pick."
Wait, what made me 6-3?
This match.
Rollins
What was this match? All right.
Rollins, Mahal, and Nikki. And I gave everybody the one because I'm not going to count that Becky bullshit.
Yeah, we didn't get any points for that.
Was this supposed to win?
But so, technically, if Sasha had been there and then they put the title on her,
yeah,
then Jaeger would have definitely got those points for sure.
Yeah, you would have definitely got the points. Yes.
But yeah, this match though, and Edge too, coming out with some black and red attire.
Which was nice.
Yeah, his jacket was nice as fuck.
This might be interesting.
What's that?
Bliss has interrupted Charlotte.
And you see, I don't know if I care.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you might be right, but go ahead. So yeah, Rollins, hey, you know what? That Edge attire was sexy too, though.
Yeah. This match had me worried for a few things. Edge was taking a lot of bumps and a lot of risk, and look, if that was the plan for Rollins to make everybody worried about, then hey, you succeeded, because I was looking at certain things. I was like, just don't take any more. And then of course you took more.
He did the Big E bump. Like, I was shocked he did the Big E bump.
Yeah.
Like, that shocked me too.
Shout out to his hardcore match with Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22. Except there was no flaming table. But but yeah, man, this match, if anybody had any doubts about Edge being in the ring, this should have quelled those immediately. So I just don't know what more. I mean, granted, if Edge has more feuds where his storytelling like this, I'm all for it. But he would have to do that with like every fucking opponent he has next, because Rollins at this point probably should have been his one of the last people that he wrestled on the way out the door, because this had way more invested, especially when they talk about the history they had with him and Rollins being with the Authority, almost breaking his neck and stuff like that. I don't know how you technically top that unless like you really go in the bag with. No, they did Randy Orton already too. So that's I really don't know what they would do. And then Christian's gone, and he's not going to do Roman. So unless Cena comes back, that may be the case. But other than that,
Cena's in.
Well, then then that's out. So I don't know what more Edge would really be able to do at this point, especially
to Raw.
Well, yeah, true. So that also is like, well, damn, what's going to happen with Bobby Lashley's momentum and what's the potential of Big E? So it's like, yeah, there doesn't seem to be a clear direction with that. And I'm glad we brought up Lashley, because I mean, well, Edge won clearly, breaking out every move in his arsenal, even breaking out his wife's move. Shout out to Beth Phoenix, the Glam Slam. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. This was
match of the night.
Yeah, definitely was match of the night. And
before we get to the next match, thoughts on WWE 2K22 coming out in March?
Pass. I'll wait for AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care based on like previous titles, obviously, but I mean, one, you took my nostalgia away, because I'm used. We haven't had a wrestling game come out, well, as far as like a main series wrestling game come out in like the beginning of the year, outside of SmackDown 1. And then SmackDown 2 came out that same year in the regular time slot. So this, pushing it to March, this would mean, and I know why they did it, because I'm pretty sure they had all the character models for like The Fiend and Braun and everybody they released basically. So now they had to take all that shit out and revamp a whole bunch of shit. But if this game is fucking trash,
oh boy,
I can tell you right now, that's going to be the nail in all of WWE 2K games, period.
Especially if the AEW game comes out next year and hits it out the park.
Oh, it will. It will. When you got somebody like Kenny and Cody who understand. Oh yeah, I can't fucking wait. Let me feel like a kid again, please. Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. This shouldn't be. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. Gorg and Bobby Lashley.
He has graduated from Oldberg to Gorg.
Gorg.
I will say this. This match did go somewhat longer than I expected it to.
Yeah, it went way too long.
I think there were two different instances where I was like, "Oh shit, they're really about to put the title on Gorg."
I would have burned Peacock down.
which, by the way, Peacock was stable.
It was. I knew about Peacock for that.
And they allowed people to fucking go back to rewind and shit. Yeah,
I ain't paying attention to that.
So good on them for finally doing some shit that WWE Network had been doing for the fucking longest. Late to the party ass, and you got to build. What they got $1 billion fucking dollars?
But Gorg versus Lashley was useless.
It was. Bobby Lashley did some good shit. I'm glad that they pushed the injury stuff on him as far as like fucking up Gorg's leg. Fine, but all this did was basically just continue to set up the feud with them even more.
But then for him to lose by stoppage though, like
that annoyed the shit out of me.
Like stoppage though. I was like, okay, I guess.
Right, ref, you've seen people go through glass. You've seen people busted open to where they look like they might just bleed out. You've seen this, that, and the third. But what, a cheap shot to the back of the knee, that's going to cause you to call a match?
Yeah. And I mean, and it's not, and the thing is, like, I can understand, like, if it was a situation where Goldberg was like, oh, or Gorg was like, oh, I can't get up. But I mean, he was still moving. The only time stoppage actually made sense is in NXT when Kevin Owens did it to Sami Zayn.
Yes.
That stoppage was the only one that made sense, because when you have a completely one-sided match where Kevin Owens is just powerbombing the shit out of Sami Zayn over and over and over, and Sami Zayn selling the fuck out of those power bombs. Yeah, but then you get to the shit where you have Brock Lesnar giving 16 suplexes to John Cena and busting him open, but nobody stopped that. Yet you stopped this. You're trying to protect Gorg for no reason at all. He doesn't need to be in the ring.
Got one match left.
Yeah, he'll probably win the title.
No, this is supposed to be it. That was technically his second match of the year.
Oh, that was it?
I would hope so.
Man should have went out in flames.
But see, that's the thing. That
now I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull some bullshit where Gorg is like, hey, I want to fight you at Crown Jewel since, so I wouldn't be surprised they try to get Gorg just for another match.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
Yeah.
Because of what they did with was his son Gage?
Oh, Gage. Hey, Lashley gave the ultimate fuck them kids moment.
and MVP did the cover up.
Yes. Which it did make sense. The kid just jumped on his back and it was like, hey, who's attacking me? Oh, fuck this person. But it's turning to fuck them kids.
Hey, look, you get in the ring.
Exactly.
Hey, you're not supposed to jump the guardrail. You know the rules.
To jump the guardrail. Exactly.
Never.
Got put in that hurt lot.
But then we get into the main event of SummerSlam.
Yep.
And I had anticipation based on stuff that's happened previously. Their last match with the build, Cena's previous matches that he had before. this bothered me. This match bothered me for a number of reasons, and it's funny because this is one instance of another instance that happened on a takeover. But when you have somebody that's worried about something other than the match, it takes away from the match.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena was so worried about fixing his hair throughout the first half of this match that it took away from the believability of Roman's offense, and then to do the cheap whole, I'm gonna roll you up and then I'm get the 1, 2, 3, which is, yeah, fine, whatever, but because we all know how matches work.
It is the most devastating finisher in wrestling history.
Yeah, true. He just went to the well a whole lot.
Yeah, he just went to it too much.
But yeah, this wasn't good to like the second half, and even that was still kind of questionable. And I felt like they could have done a lot more. Roman's heel work though, on point.
Oh yeah,
I think he revels when there's even when there's a big crowd, because he can talk all the shit he wants, and I love it. So this is why that's cool. But I really got nothing much. This match didn't impress me at all. I expected a lot, and I got almost nothing.
You know what else didn't impress me? The end. I didn't give a fuck Brock Lesnar came back.
Goddamn right.
I did not care. I was sitting there like, oh, Ponytail Brock is here.
I've got a running joke because there's like a meme of him somewhere, but we don't call him Brock Lesnar. We call him Bork Laser.
Yeah, Bork.
Yeah,
Bork Laser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew about calling him Bork, but I did not care that he came back. And then, because I was talking, so at this point, Mike and I was talking ever since that incident that happened. Mike and I had talked the whole rest of the show, and then the fact that he came down there and stared down Roman Reigns and wanted to fight, and I was like, "Hey, say fam, I just got through fighting John Cena. You think I'm about to fight you right now? Fuck out my face! Fuck out my face!" But yeah,
if Bork was gonna get in the ring, why didn't he just attack Roman or some shit?
Like, I did not care.
And it's hard to care about this stuff because we had the biggest return in professional wrestling in a very long time.
Yep.
So this pretty much fell flat. At the same time, for somebody who's just watching it after they've seen CM Punk come back, and you see this, most people would probably think, okay, is this an attempt to compete with AEW? And then other people probably be like, no, not at all. But then when you're like us and then you get in the know of things and you find out certain information, like how Dwayne The Rock Johnson was supposed to be set up for this coming WrestleMania, and Brock was supposed to be the plan for the WrestleMania after that, which is 2023 for Roman. So I'm assuming Roman was either meant to hold that title up to that whole point, or maybe lose to somebody, probably not. And then so basically going all the way to the basically having 3 WrestleManias where he's the fucking champion.
That's
straight up.
I don't know if I would want that.
True. But then to finally call an audible and say, hey, let's bring Brock back.
Like, if they really wanted to try and equal up to CM Punk returning, they should have brought The Rock in.
Probably. But, Dwayne's a busy man.
Very true. I think Dwayne looks at his phone and sees those missed calls from Vince, and he's just like...
But even then, though, I mean, like, let's really talk about it for a second, though.
What's that?
Like, let's really discuss it. Nothing would have overshadowed CM Punk's 70-year return.
Oh yeah,
correct.
Even if Rock and Brock would have came out in the same segment, nothing would have overshadowed the fact that CM Punk had just stepped into a wrestling ring for the first time in 7 years.
7 years.
That's correct. And that's a reason why I keep bringing this Nick Khan interview up, because another thing they stated is that they don't look at competition. They don't worry about competition. They're not looking at that. But yet, CM Punk returns, and then you have Brock come back, even though he was probably potentially scheduled to have a feud with Roman way down the line. So, this is for nothing. Also, since we're going to just jump right into our main event, Becky was supposed to be 2 months from now as far as a return. She wasn't. Yes. She wasn't supposed, like, this wasn't meant for her to return for SummerSlam.
Damn, Scoot had to dip just from that piece of information. So that tells me two things, and there's probably a glaring one is a potential thing. One, this whole thing was clearly meant to compete with the CM Punk thing, because if you were going to replace Sasha, you could have replaced her with anybody, especially if you planned on keeping the title on Bianca. Not Carmella, though. You could have done Zelina Vega. You could have done Naomi. You could have done, Mia Yim if she was okay. Shotzi or T. Go ahead. Let's touch up on how much of a slap in the face this is to the fans that went there expecting to see Sasha and Bianca round 2.
And that's now okay. So I'm 50-50 on this only for one reason. And that's, for any type of swerve. Like, if they had planned to have Becky within that week, then I understand, like, the swerve. Okay, cool, no problem. But at the same time, that's still no excuse for poorly booking. Because thing is, one, if Becky, and this is the second thing. Sorry, I'm just gonna wrap it all together. The second thing is, bringing Becky back this early would tell me that she's not cleared. Which also makes sense why that match was as short as it was, because she's not cleared, especially if she's supposed to return 2 months from now. That means she's not cleared, if that's the case. And I'm going with that because there's no fucking way you're going to tell me that Bianca, even if she got blindsided by Becky, is still not good enough to still have a credible match, even in a loss.
Right.
There's no fucking way, because she's gone through a lot of other people, whether it be a handshake. Hell, with the match she had with Shayna Baszler, even though she lost, she didn't lose in 20, 30 seconds.
26 seconds.
26 seconds. This is your champion.
I will say this, and incoming people, this is going to be somewhat of a long rant coming from me.
You got the floor, Scoop.
I will say a lot of my feelings were out that night, and it did take those last 2 days or day and a half to kind of formulate a legit opinion. And one of the first things I had to do personally, I had to take race out of it. Mm-hmm. I had to take race out of it, even though the same shit happened with Kofi and Brock. With Kofi still being black, Brock being white, same situation, Bianca black, Becky white. So I had to take race out of it to try to make it a fair point, because then you always have the people, why you want to bring race into it? I'm going to take race out of it. How the fuck do you ever expect to build new superstars when shit like this happens? You had Bianca win the Royal Rumble, main event night 1 of WrestleMania, and to lose to a returning superstar, no matter how over she was, in 26 seconds. And not only 26 seconds, but lose to a punch and one slam. You had your champion, who you was building for months, lose in this manner. There is nothing WWE can do to truly make that up to her.
No.
Especially when you saw her visibly crying in the ramp when she was going back. She was visibly crying. I'm pretty sure when she got back behind Gorilla, she probably broke down. She probably broke down to where I don't care who you are. That sucked the wind out of almost everybody. Yeah, they was cheering that Becky became champion, but being in the know, that sucked the wind out of everybody. I did not want to watch the rest of SummerSlam when that happened. If it wasn't for our little contest we was doing, I didn't want to finish watching the show. Because this was so disrespectful. That you do this to a young superstar, and there's nothing y'all can do to make that up to her. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. But you want to build new superstars and you want new talent to shine, but you do something like this.
But more importantly, they want to beat the competition that they're not competing with.
And you do something like this.
Some bullshit.
CM Punk didn't come to that ring and was like, hey, after 7 years, Kenny Omega, I want you at All Out. No, he addressed the person who called him out, which was Darby Allin, and told Darby, hey, if you really want to do this, come see me at All Out.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar, he comes out, what he do? Immediate fucking title shot, in a sense. What the fuck is up with this? Gorg, he comes back, immediate fucking title shot.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck do you ever expect to build superstars, especially new superstars, who should stay with your company? Because if you're counting the fact that Roman is already in his 30s, Edge is in his 40s, Rollins is in his 30s, Lashley is 40, if not late 30s. If you want to build the wave of new superstars, you have Becy Lynch return and to beat the current champion, in 26 fucking seconds. How does Stephen A say it? You had the unmitigated
gall
to want us to believe in Bianca, and she loses in 26 seconds.
Yes.
WWE, if fumbling was a thing in y'all's company, this would be the biggest fucking fumble. This would be Mark Sanchez's butt fumble for all the football fans out there. This is Shaqtin' a fool for all you basketball fans out there. What the fuck were y'all thinking with that? I could see if it was a situation where it was like, Carmella and Zelina came out there and they was jumping on Bianca, and then Becky comes saves the day. But no, you had her go out there, beat up Carmella first. So the embarrassment to Carmella happened first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had her, hey, Bianca, how about you challenge me for the belt?
Hold on. Okay. My bad, Scoop. But this is the part that pissed me off. Is her choice of words how would y'all like to see the EST and the man tear the house down?
Yes,
that's what they said.
And just for reference, just so everybody understands, all of you who are riding hard for Becky, nobody's mad at Becky for winning the title.
We're mad at her
because everybody pretty much understood that if Becky was coming out, Bianca was probably going to lose that title. Mm-hmm. We expected a match that was going to showcase Bianca as a credible champion and show the strength of Becky in her return because of how popular she is. The booking on this is terrible. And just because there are people cheering for Becky, you can still feel the audible difference within the crowd after she won. Because, nobody wants to boo Becky after she just got back. But there is a lot of indifference within that crowd.
Yeah.
And for those of you who... Go ahead, Scoop.
And like I said, it took me up until now to take race out of it. Because we're not going to talk about the fact that WWE truly disrespects their black superstars. I mean, let's just go ahead. Let's not even put that all in perspective. But the fact that you really want us to think this can be the next superstar who loses to Becky in 26 seconds. 26 seconds. And she was the champion.
Yeah.
She wasn't like a Eva Murray. She wasn't like a jobber. No. She was the woman who won the Rumble in January, main evented night one of WrestleMania in April, and come August, she loses her title seconds. 26 seconds. Becky Lynch, regardless of what you do from here on out, you are officially in the Charlotte Flair category.
Damn.
I don't care if the plan is to push you as a heel going forward or whatever. That doesn't matter to me. You could have been like, you think I should really do that to her? You could have stopped that. You could have been like, Vince, I don't know if that's a good idea. That might not be the move to make for me to bury the champion.
No, not at all. And just for reference, because I know Nikki. Go ahead.
She couldn't come to me backstage and apologize to me because I probably would have damn near ready to swing on her. But with me being professional, it probably would have stopped me. But if I was Bianca, I would have been like, do not let me see anybody but Montez. Because if I see anybody other than if I see her, I might swing on her. Montez and Angelo better be the only people I see when I go backstage. Don't say shit to me, personally speaking. Because my feelings would have been just hurt. Personally speaking, my feelings was hurt as a fan. I can only imagine what she was going through, what she had to internalize herself, and how the fact that she had to stay professional. Because then 24 hours later, you had her doing a promo on a house show about that. You had her wrestling on a house show. And she had to address it herself. So fuck all that noise. There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing they could do to make that sit right with me.
I'm sadly playing this match back right now, and she is like, just even getting into the ring, she's all smiles.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic when you watch it after knowing.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know how she put on that face, like smiling and everything. She's like got all the energy, and she already knows what's about to happen.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
And speaking of just this whole situation, everybody talking about how Bianca lost. A lot of people are shitting on Nikki Bella for her comments based on it because she shares the same sentiment. And so people are going at her because they said it's the identical thing that she did to AJ Lee. Correction. It's not the same thing. Because see, what happened with AJ Lee and Nikki Bella, that was within a storyline. Because that was during the time where you had Nikki and Brie feuding. And then you had you basically had Brie being forced to be at ringside for Nikki before she turned heel as well, because then she distracted AJ Lee, kissed AJ Lee, and then got decked by Nikki Bella and then put in her finisher. So that's different. That's a very different situation because one, it was already built up like that. Two, AJ Lee was taken off guard because it's something that AJ Lee did to somebody else. Same matter of fact, she did it unintentionally to Daniel Bryan when she kissed him, and then he lost in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
But are y'all saying that he got squashed by Sheamus? Or y'all saying that's part of the storyline? Yeah, it was fucked up that he lost in 13 seconds, but again, it's still played into a storyline. So you can't pick and choose what you're not gonna like. If you don't like this situation, you can't sit there and say that it's just either way. It's not the same. So Nikki Bella also does not deserve that flack because, again, It made sense back then. This doesn't make any sense at all because there's no way you can paint this up and say, hey, this all works the right way. No, you buried somebody. Nobody said AJ was buried at that time. Not one person. So y'all can, some of you fans can miss me with all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that this sucks. And again, concept professionals, especially if you're a veteran, can call an audible. You're telling me Becky couldn't have called an audible? Because again, this was something before the company that approved this whole deal is the same company that didn't believe in her when the fans pushed her.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, like, that's what kind of rubs me wrong with Becky. Like, again, I still got nothing against Becky, but I feel like this could have been done a whole nother way. Especially if she was not supposed to be back until like 2 months from now. I'm not going to sit here and say that she wasn't cleared. I don't know that. But judging by how everything went down, it seems like she may not be yet.
Right.
So
where does that take? I'm sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
Going forward from here, like, is she just gonna be making little cameos while holding the belt? Like, how does she plan on defending this belt if she's still not medically cleared?
I mean, I guess at this point, time will tell.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I think
like,
the
she gonna
next
do
time
more
she would
fucking...
technically have to defend the belt won't be until Extreme Rules. So if all she might have is a little dust up here and there,
like, she can do a couple more 30-second matches.
I'm pretty sure she probably won't wrestle again until Extreme Rules. And
Yeah,
Extreme Rules, I think, is sometime in September. I can't remember when. So she probably won't. So she'll probably just come out there and just talk trash. And she probably won't have a match on SmackDown until much later.
I'm running this back, and this is just such a train wreck of, okay, here's Carmella, and then they're about to get it going, and then Becky just walks out.
Yeah.
She does. 26.
So you said 26?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Becky, so she could just come out week to week just to talk trash and get in people's faces and maybe do some punches here and there, but she probably won't wrestle until the 26th.
And so now the rumor is that the plan is to turn Becky heel. Mm-hmm. Now, my thing is, if that was the case, why didn't y'all just turn her heel at SummerSlam and then make it make sense? Like, have her come out, ambush Bianca, and then have Bianca be the fighting champion, be like, no, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna go out like a champ. Or and then have that be the case.
Or even let Bianca like squash Carmella and then have Becky show up and then stomp on Bianca.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been better.
Like, there's like, Becky's like halfway in ring gear.
I mean, she has her gear on.
I mean, yeah, she's got gear on, but then she's like rocking like her merch shirt. Like, the man's back in Vegas. It like kind of has like a Kevin Owens vibe to it. Like, that's what I mean by like halfway in gear.
Yeah.
But this yeah. And then knowing now that this is not gonna last long at all.
Yeah, it's just and for them to even to know about Becky, because I'm pretty sure they had this plan for maybe like a week, I think, because they had the shirts made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
again, I don't even know how legitimate Sasha's like medical clearance is, but
nobody knows. That's the thing. Nobody knows what's up with Sasha.
Like, imagine being, I mean, like, it's worse. It's bad. It's definitely worse between the two that for Bianca. But I mean, imagine being Sasha and all this too, where you're just like, oh, hey, so you're getting scrubbed from this match, and like for Becy Lynch and Carmella.
So now, what does that put me?
Yeah, where does that exactly?
Title.
Exactly.
So where do I fit in this?
Honestly,
she did a gut shot to Carmella and then threw her out the ring and said, "I'll be back." Okay.
Which was cool. That I was still fine with that.
Oh, okay. She's doing more to her. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I mean, it was still weak what she did, but I mean,
yeah,
she did.
Well, I mean, that somehow, or that's like in a way makes like it heelish, even though the fans are 100% with her.
Yeah. Let me see. Does Bayley have a return date?
Oh, she out. I don't think Bailey's return probably won't be to next year.
Wait, really? What happened?
Okay, 9 months. 9 months.
Okay. Out.
This is the only way that I will actually accept this whole situation. I mean, it's still fucked up for Bianca, but the only way that they can turn this around for me, where I'll be okay at the end of the day with this, is if this is to bring all the horsewomen together as heels. Because at this point, if they turn Becky heel, all the horsewomen will be heels, and then you can have Sasha and Bayley win the women's tag team champions. So then you'll have them have all the women's titles. Then I'll be somewhat okay.
That's just on the somewhat.
It is a small somewhat, but that's on the strength. That's only on the strength of Bayley and Sasha because of their heel work together, and mainly Bayley because Bayley just kills it like crazy. But yeah, and you have them run roughshod over the main roster in the women's division to help build up new female stars. Then I'll be cool. Give me that shit for next year's Survivor Series. But anyway, I digress. SummerSlam, just WWE is really just, I don't want to say killing their own company because I think that's too rash.
I mean, I don't think it's inaccurate either, though.
True. And the only reason I halfway say this is because I still believe that they can save themselves. Now, judging how things happen with this new revamp of NXT, maybe my decision on like how I feel about the company altogether. But as of right now, they still have a chance to salvage what remnants they have left of, what good remnants they have of the company. So yeah.
1, 2, no shit, just like that.
Just like that.
A right hook and a quote manhandle slam.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was it.
And that was basically SummerSlam. That right there was probably the feeling of overall SummerSlam. Just like you wasted my time.
Yeah.
What didn't waste my time though was TakeOver 36.
And I say it again, and I say it before. I have never watched a bad TakeOver. Now, for clear transparency here, I probably did not see maybe the first 1 or 2 TakeOvers in TakeOver history.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen at least 32 TakeOvers. At least 32 of these things.
Damn.
And I have not been disappointed on not a single one.
True.
And this one, the only thing that disappointed me in this one was the main event. Only because we knew the clear vision of the main event. But the other 4 matches, though, especially the match of the year.
See,
oh boy.
So there was a pre-show. I didn't see it. I didn't see the pre-show match between
I didn't see it
either. Ridge Holland and
Trey Baxter.
Trey Baxter, yeah. I didn't see that. So I'm pretty sure Ridge Holland won. I'm not surprised.
He
That's
did.
okay. So then clearly that's what that is. But yeah, the official first match was Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for the $1 million championship.
Fire.
Now, of course, I enjoyed this. I especially enjoyed the end of the match. But for me, I wanted more from it.
I personally wouldn't have included Ted interference. Because Ted's interference seemed very set up. If it would have stayed between Cameron and Knight, I would have liked it a little bit better.
Yeah. Because I love their dynamic. I love LA Knight as a character. Like I love his whole package. Like everything that he has going on, it's no pun intended, but it's money.
It is.
And
now the problem is though, this is the thing. And once again, we can say whatever we want to say, but Knight's character will translate very well on Raw or SmackDown, but they fumble everything else. So, but Knight, seeing the way Knight's look, his build, his persona, it would be great on the main roster. But once again, we said that about so many other superstars, and look where it happens. But this right here, and this match definitely solidifies that Cameron Grimes can legitimately go to the moon.
Yes. And his cave-in was just
that
crisp.
Cave-in was beautiful. Crisp. Hey, we haven't done it in a while, but it was chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. He hit that cave-in beautifully.
Yeah.
Like he hit it so nice to where you saw the impact. Both feet was on the shoulders. He pushed down. I don't know if they practiced that cave-in, but boy, he hit that cave-in beautifully.
With a perfect dismount.
And then I love the dismount of how he stood there and then fell back. That was beautiful.
So yeah, and then of course his reaction after he won. Yes. Like you would have thought they had an Iron Man match.
Right?
But yeah, I think that this was pretty much the feel good moment. Well, one of the feel good moments within this show, and I'm glad they started off like that. Huh?
Going forward, do y'all think this belt will be defended a lot?
Who I can't remember who said it because I heard it today, but somebody who reviewed it also stated that it would be cool if Baron Corbin had went down to NXT to try to get that title off of Cameron Grimes.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Because since Baron Corbin is going across all brands, this would be cool. And I was like, that would actually be fantastic.
That would actually be really
cool.
Actually
would, actually.
So yeah, but I do think that they're going to continue to do stuff with this title. I think they're going to do more with it than what had been done with it previously. I mean, at this point, they already pretty much have, for the most part, as far as with it being defended, because before it was just a piece of hardware to carry around like the FTW title is right now. But yeah, I have high hopes for it as long as this whole revamp of NXT doesn't drastically change the company that we all know and love. So yeah, the next match, which actually had the only retaining of a title. And complete surprise.
This match, I do want to formally apologize to Raquel Gonzalez. Hi, Raquel. I should have picked you regardless. It was just the way the storyline was set up. It made it seem like Dakota was going to take it. I shouldn't have never went against you, Raquel. I hope you can forgive me if you ever see this. But yeah. Another good match of them displaying big opponent, small opponent. And it worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
And there were a few
this
times where I thought there was a few times, boy, Dakota was very crafty.
yes, yeah, this showcased Dakota very well.
I'm gonna give a shout out to What Culture real quick because I watched their review of this, and I felt attacked because good old Simon on that show said something along the lines of, "Now, we all knew that Raquel was going to walk away the victor in this," and I raised an eyebrow at this. Then he points out because Dakota had been making spots in main event and main roster shows.
True.
But no. Like, she had been losing to Aaliyah of all things. Like, why? Like she should have at least gotten a couple months as champ or something before she got called up.
Yeah, because you could have kept Raquel down there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, which you are, but
I mean, you could have had Raquel not be champ for a couple months, take it back from Dakota or something, resume her reign. But it's kind of shitty, in my opinion, that Dakota's been there for so long, and I don't think she's ever won the gold, has she?
Nope, just the tag titles.
Yep.
The tag titles that she lost the same night.
Yep.
Yeah, which is still another slap in the face.
Yeah.
But, you know,
like, yeah. WWE seems like an abusive relationship. At least to their new talent.
I did make that analogy the very first podcast we did, and I walked it back. But
oh no,
it's almost starting to feel that way now, especially towards the talent.
If your name is Bianca Belair, and well, I guess to a lesser extent Dakota Kai, yeah, kind of seems slap happy.
So now, so to be just slightly transparent, because Jaeger just brought up something poignant.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all would have heard some of the things that I was saying when Becky beat Bianca, it wouldn't have been very podcast friendly, and maybe Mr. Diesel would have had to cut it out.
No, because I'm not podcast friendly.
Or maybe he would have wrote it, or maybe he would have left it in. And I'm damn near tempted to say it now. But I'm trying my best to stay as
maybe. I want you to say it, but if you want to tone it down a little bit, I won't be mad at you.
No, you know what? Better yet,
if you're a person of color, you won't get shine.
Damn.
How about that?
Okay, you know what? Yeah, if y'all read between the lines, if you can't read that, then I mean I don't know what to tell you.
How about that? I'll leave it at
that. Anyway, just like I brought up the John Cena Roman Reigns match, and I said that I had one of the same issues with an NXT match. It was this match.
This one? Okay.
Now, granted, it's a 50-50 thing because it's almost like a double-edged sword, because on one hand, you know, no man in his right mind would ever be mad at it. But on the other end, if you are love of professional wrestling and you want a match to just be on point, then you might frown down. You know, you might frown upon certain things. I'm pretty sure Scoot is on board of the former. Raquel's top.
Oh no. I'm not. So Ashley has been one of the biggest people to ever say she hates every top Raquel wears. That Raquel needs to find better tops to wear. And last night I agreed. The top she was wearing did not do her any favors, even though she doesn't have to have any favors done for her. That's whatever. But that top was just not. It was not popping. It was not the best.
Yeah. And the fact that she kept having to either adjust or make sure that she didn't expose herself was distracting. One, because it was the same thing with John Cena where he kept trying to fix his hair the whole time. It took me out because I'm like, I'm watching Dakota like try to have her best match. Nothing, of course, nothing against Raquel. Raquel still made sure that she was on point for the most part. But you know, let's say hypothetically, no favors were done, and she had a Carmella situation. This is for a title, not on the main roster. This is on a pay-per-view. On a pay-per-view with a top like that, I ain't no way that she would have kept going.
No.
So
her top was very similar to Penelope Ford's top when she fought Thunder Rosa. I thought it was gonna be a little hello moment with Penelope Ford's top she was wearing.
Yeah, that definitely looked risky, to say the least.
See, and of course, the fans in attendance, which y'all got to be more subtle if y'all trying to do certain things, because see, when y'all pull your phones out and you have it on one thing and nothing amazing is really happening, right? I know why you got your phone out, because there was a point where Raquel was on the turnbuckle, and she was just sitting there like resting for the most part, and Dakota was on the other side of the fucking ring. She wasn't running to set up a move, nothing like that. She had ample time, and so all you see are people with their phones out. You know who you are, man. Nobody was panning over to Dakota with their phone. They specifically had, because thing is, look, if I'm trying to film a move, I'm going to do the whole pan where Dakota runs up and does a move and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit here and have Dakota come off screen and then pull the move off. Y'all got to be slicker than that. Like the dude off that insurance commercial. Yeah, got to be quicker than that.
I mean, if you're gonna be a perv about it, I mean, be at least a secret perv, I guess, but don't be very discreet obvious with your perv.
And we're not condoning any perv actions.
We're not at all. Because those are
just
women,
like if,
and you motherfuckers don't do that with the men, so don't do it with the women.
Yeah.
So
because Randy Orton, you know. And matter of fact, Cameron, who else had their stuff pulled? Because I think somebody else, one of the guys had their stuff pulled.
They had his trunks pulled.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we don't be seeing y'all doing it with the dudes.
Yeah, where y'all phones at then?
So yeah, be on both ends. If you're gonna perv on the men, perv on the women, perv on the men too. Yeah, I said it. Be an equal opportunist perv.
That's right. But still, we don't condone that.
Well, we don't condone that.
Nah.
No.
That's right.
No.
Bad.
But with that being said as well,
y'all fans in attendance.
Raquel and Dakota though.
Oh,
Raquel
without a
and
doubt.
Dakota though.
No.
And just for the record, for those of you who are still wondering, like, how come y'all didn't give any of those to SummerSlam? Because the whole women's division is in trouble. They banned from the doors for right now.
Yeah,
because of one person's action.
I mean, not for nothing, but I'll throw out a Carmella though.
Oh no, Carmella was looking mighty though-ish, but
though-ish is a word now.
But the whole segment, throw it all out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every bit of it.
Bianca will forever have a though for me, but throw it all out.
Fair enough. No SummerSlam those. Period. No. Right now.
You know what? Yeah. Fine. Fair.
But
that Avalanche Chicona bomb though.
Yeah, I knew that was it when it happened. I was like, oh, fuck.
I was like, God damn.
I was so mad.
Kudos to the fact that she had to take Dakota out that way though.
Yes, definitely. Dakota's offense was just like, it's like she came to fight.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And that's why I was convinced that she was going to win, because I was like, oh shit, Dakota's on a new level. Like, give me this Dakota every time.
Oh yeah,
every time. And
can we save the third match for the main event?
I
Because I want to praise this match for the way it deserves.
I mean, yeah.
So can we save the third match for the main event? Because
fair enough.
That needs to be praised.
That it's funny because I think both of those matches were like middle of the show shit, and yet there's two opposite feelings on the two.
You know what? Actually, honestly, I understand takeovers are usually 5 matches and they want to keep it at a certain length.
Mm-hmm.
But Swerve and Santos would have been perfect for this show.
It would have.
Since this night was full of grudge matches.
Yeah.
Swerve and Santos would have been perfect for this show.
Oh, shit. Every match was a fucking grudge match.
Yep. If it wasn't for O'Reilly and Cole being 2 out of 3 falls, Swerve and Santos should have been on this show.
Yeah.
But since we're going to skip the third match, the next match was
hold on. We now have a potential challenger for Raquel.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I feel about if she's going to be the one to dethrone Raquel.
I don't know, but I'm not mad at Kaylee Ray being there
for the challenge wise.
Yeah,
and for the people out there, we're talking about Kaylee Ray, NXT UK's longest reigning women's champion,
who proved me wrong completely.
Yeah, so if she does take this belt off of Raquel, she would be the second woman to hold both NXT UK and NXT women's championships.
Yes,
with the Nightmare being the first.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, but yeah, of course we had Walter and Ilya Dragunov, but we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah, we're gonna save that last.
I have to bring that up because the 2 matches that happened after it clearly had to follow that.
You know, that's the first thing I said to Ashley. I was like, I would hate to be after that match.
Yeah.
I would hate to be after that match.
But it was a good thing that Cole was the person in the next match.
That is true.
Because had Cole not been as over as he is, this probably would have fell flat because everybody was shitting on Kyle O'Reilly, which is crazy. And what's funny is that it never clicked to me of how obvious who the winner was going to be in this, because we all stated that Kyle was going to win, but it was super obvious because one thing that never clicked to me, because I realized it, I think last night, is the fact that they keep talking about this whole rubber match situation, and Cole was really the only one to kind of bring it up with the fact that the first match wasn't sanctioned, so Kyle doesn't really have a win over him. So it's blatant that, okay, well, you're going to send Cole off with O'Reilly getting a win. So
the WWE way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can never win your last match. You always got to lose it.
Yeah.
Which for some reason, I'm not going to lie, whether this is Cole, which most likely people are reporting it was Cole's last night with NXT. They didn't report if he was done with the company completely, but something seemed very final about that match. It seemed like this was Cole's last match on NXT. Like, it seemed very final.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's his last match in WWE. Anyways.
I mean, true indeed. And I mean, of course, there was one particular nod to what could potentially be his.
Talking about when Cole hit that lockjaw?
Exactly.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, you could have easily masked it with the fact that, Edge used a glam slam the night before. But I mean, come on. Come on. But yeah, the first out of these 3 matches, I mean, we all knew that this was going to go to the cage match, clearly.
Yeah.
Of course.
When the first fall happened, I immediately was like, nope, Scoot's idea was better.
What
They
was
should have
that?
just had Cole get disqualified.
Yeah, Cole just beat him up, get disqualified, so that way he was softened up for the street fight. But nope.
Mm-hmm.
What did Cole lose to? The most devastating finisher in wrestling history.
The roll
Good
up.
old roll up.
Dumb. Because especially with the fact that Kyle O'Reilly had played it up like, yo, it's going to hurt you more if I beat you in a straight up match.
Mm-hmm.
Not really going to hurt my feelings if I lose to a surprise roll up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, from that point on, that was the only real sour part, because once that second match happened, I was like, oh, I'm all for this, because O'Reilly but he always does that shit. He makes you believe he is fucking hurt.
Yes. He
Um,
does. He does a great job at making you seem like the damn. Is he hurt for real?
yeah. And I know Ziggler can sell his ass off and give off that whatever, and Sami Zayn can show he can take an ass whooping and show that. But O'Reilly makes you feel like, yo, when did the professional wrestling stop, and when did they really start fucking this dude up?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he makes you believe. And especially with the way that he got Irish whipped into the corner. Because the way that he clipped the turn post, I was like, wait, was he trying to slide out the way and then get clipped?
I think he was, because he was trying to dodge the chair, and I thought he was trying to dodge it all together, but no, he slid into the post, and it was like, well, fuck.
Yeah, and everything. Cole gave him like just I'm getting out of here, but I'm gonna make sure you feel this shit tomorrow, because I won't be around to do this to you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, the kendo stick shot when he was finna go for the last shot and then tricked him.
Yes.
And then the chair spot.
Fam, I still don't know if I take that chair spot. I don't know. Like we've been on here for a while saying certain spots we would take. I don't know if I'm gonna take the chair spot like that.
No.
I don't know.
There's a 50-50 chance of me taking it from a regular suplex, but going off the top rope onto that, nah. 2 inches the wrong way, and that's it.
Done.
That's it for your spine.
You're done.
Yeah.
I'm cool. Do not need that in my life at all. I'm cool on that edit. But anyway, as the brutality continued, Cole clearly won that fall. Not surprising at all, especially with the way that O'Reilly sold everything, and then even after the match, after that fall.
Hold on. I do want to give a special shout out. I want to give a shout out for Aja Smith. She killed the referee in that Grimes and night match, and she killed the referee in this match too. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Aja Smith.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
She,
oh yeah, now go ahead. Aja though.
Yeah.
Leon, don't come after me. Aja though.
I mean, it's not like you'd have much of a fight.
Well, Leon out there getting his weight up. Literally.
Oh, is he?
I have no idea.
We hope so.
I mean,
I hope you feed him.
I just use a strong gust of wind in that. But
there you go.
But yeah, so shout out to Aja and her refereeing on TakeOver, because she was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was the brutality, and I love the whole Cole beating up O'Reilly before the cage match could officially get started. I love that. And then of course things got real when the cage was fully fastened to the ring.
Yeah, which was and so this is where I actually do like this shit, because they did kind of make it make sense with Cole handcuffing, and most people will be like, "Oh, we handcuffed him. Why not walk up the cage?" They did it in a time frame to where the shit made sense. where he got cocky and then he paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, you got me on that. Which, sorry, quick sidebar from SummerSlam. Jinder Mahal did something that I wish people would have done from a long time ago. And because, I mean, you think about everybody set up for the finishes. You think about Shawn Michaels stomping his feet for the super kick.
Mm-hmm.
You think about Roman going, ooh,
when he did the countdown and he just kind of
and ducked out the fucking ring. It was like common sense.
Well, Raquel did it when she took that Yakuza kick. She fell out the ring. Whenever,
Well, I mean, everybody like if they get hit, and they fall out the ring.
Yeah, she took the move, but she had the wherewithal not to fall in the ring. She had the wherewithal to kind of like, nope, you ain't getting this one. But you're right. Anybody who sets up their move, you could be like, nope. Just like with O'Reilly and the knee pad.
Mm-hmm.
You see that when Cole took the knee pad off, O'Reilly was already like, nope. But then he was like, ha, kendo stick. You know? And boy, he put some stank on that kendo shit, kendo stick shot.
Yeah.
That shit was loud.
But yeah, Cole did pay for it, and he
took that heel hook, and it was it.
Yeah, that was a done deal, and he had to go ahead and tap out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
And the undisputed finale came to an end with O'Reilly's hand raised.
Mm-hmm. With the fans screaming bullshit.
Yeah, the fans weren't too happy, were they?
Which is still weird because, you know, it's not like O'Reilly did anything wrong. I mean, granted, you probably wanted Cole to win, fine, but I mean,
well, you got to think. Cole has been the most over superstar since Finn had left. And then even when Finn came back, Cole was still over. So you got to think, and don't forget, Cole's overness comes from his past as well. You know, and Finn, so you got to look at who's truly been over in NXT. If they weren't a homegrown talent, a lot of the people who were over were people that they just remembered from, you know, Ring of Honors or New Japans or this, that, and the other. So Cole has probably been, hell, to be perfectly honest with you, he might be the most over superstar maybe in NXT's history. If not Finn Balor. Either one of those two, because you know, people love to see when Finn was bringing out the demon. So that might be the one thing. But, you know, Adam Cole, regardless of him being heel or face, he throw them fingers up. You hearing the Adam Cole, baby. Like, so true. So between Cole or Balor, one of those two will probably be the most over person in NXT's history.
Yeah. But that's what has me worried about O'Reilly moving forward, because with everybody else that you have in NXT and you're pushing him as a person that beat Cole in potentially Cole's last match on NXT, and he's not over like that, like, what's the plan? Because I mean, I feel like he's going to end up falling short to a lot of other people. You know, you think of guys like Odyssey Jones coming in, who, you know, his potential charisma could elevate. You think about your Johnny Garganos, who's still there. You think about, you know, Dexter Lumis, Indy Hartwell, that's there as far as like star potential. LA Knight, you know, well, you can't, I mean, heel or face, you can't really do anything wrong with him in the first place. Cameron Grimes, you know, Hit Row. Like, it's
going to be interesting to see what they do with Kyle going forward. It will be interesting.
Yeah. But we do get the main event, which was a letdown for me because of what they did to Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Because I felt like the build for this, nothing was wrong with the build. The only thing that was wrong was Karrion Kross. Because granted, we had our own issues about him being champion because of the way we felt about how he felt unstoppable. But you had this time somebody who could have who we saw that could take down that unstoppable Karrion Kross. But during this whole feud, they steadily watered Karrion Kross down to somebody who was like, "Yo, why is this dude champion?"
I mean, not only that, the man's entrance was lacking one
my gosh
part. The crowd let us know.
Integral part.
The crowd was like, "Oh, where's Scarlett?" And yeah,
where did they put her?
I think she's off of TV for personal reasons right now.
Yeah, but they offer TV for reasons, but they want to separate them two.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to know that Kross and Scarlett are a thing.
Like if there was like a physical representation of the embodiment of what SmackDown, I mean, of what SummerSlam felt like for me, where I said it took the life out. This was that, because watching this entrance without Scarlett, without the like just watching him walk in a black and white image or layover rather, it just seems so sad.
It did. It seemed very sad.
And then to basically have Scarlett's part going, but yet you have Karrion just walking down still with the smoke and then just talking to Joe the whole time. And then finally, when his part comes up, he just gets in the ring and then does. It's like it felt lifeless.
It did. It felt like yeah, Kross, you about to lose. Like it was just like, yeah, this is your last match in NXT as well. So go ahead and take this L, and thank you for your service.
Yeah.
But it will never be mentioned past this point.
Pretty much. I mean, Joe could only do so much at this point. I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but at the same time, it wasn't like an overly good match. It was just a match. And I definitely wanted more from this, but I wanted to feel like, yo, this is a fucking grudge. I didn't feel that. I literally felt like this was something that you could have had like on Monday night or Friday night SmackDown. And then just be like, oh, okay, this main evented one of these main event shows, not a pay-per-view, just one of these shows. Only real good thing about this was Joe breaking out the Muscle Buster, which would have been nice to break that out had they kept Karrion Kross at that level that he was built up to instead of him being watered down. Because then at that point, it's like, oh shit, Joe had to break out the Muscle Buster to beat Karrion Kross. That's a good send off for him. But right now, it's like, no. So, but yeah, Joe wins, and that's cool. I'm glad. But we expected it, and these are one of the things where it's like, yeah, we expected him to win, but you know, it could have been a better match that meant more, that felt like it meant more. But what should have been the main event and our chosen main event, Ilya Dragunov taking on Walter for the NXT UK Championship.
Make sure you change the graphic so we can give it respect.
Yeah. I'm so busy thinking about it. I didn't even
I'm gonna say this: the number one takeaway I had from this match before we break it down was: if there was enough ice in the world to put on those wounds that both men were suffering, especially Ilya. And the second thought was, how the fuck did they feel today?
I really only have one question because I told myself there was a 98% chance that it was going to reopen, and that was the cut
his
above
forehead. Yeah.
Ilya's eye. And I was like, okay, once that cut happened on NXT, I was like, all right, clearly when this match happens, that's going to be where most of that color comes from. Whoever stitched that shit up.
I think the issue was since it wasn't supposed to happen, since that scar was an accident, if they probably could purposely make somebody bleed, I wouldn't be surprised if Ilya would have been like, hey, hit me in the scar. Hit me in the scar so we can get the color. But since they're not supposed to intentionally bleed in WWE, you know, everybody can't be Cody, you know.
Well, no, I was assuming it was going to happen unintentionally because of how hard hitting this match was. I was just like,
considering most of Walter's chops was to the chest and back, you know, and a little to the face. But fam, I don't know if I want to take a Walter chop.
No. Because here's the thing about and for me, it's not really just the chop. It's the way Walter chops you, because just like he was hitting Ilya, like his chops have a hint of disrespect behind them.
Yes, so it's when like tinge of disrespect.
It's because when I see him chop people, especially when he chops somebody like straight like in the neck and it's like on like side of the face and stuff, I'm like, yo, what the fuck did you do to him, man?
Because he be hitting them people with just anger, it seems like anger and malice.
Yeah. With a hint of disappointment. Like it's like, yo, Walter, like, I'm sorry, I wish I could be better. I don't know what you want me to do. I feel bad. Like I sit there and I'm just like, yo, maybe I need to step my game up in what I'm doing in life, because I feel like I don't want to get hit like that. So I don't want to disappoint anybody in my lifetime. Like how that hit comes off. Because that's how I feel.
And just the brutality of their match was just so crazy. The fact that like it was like, shit, do y'all not like each other for real? Like what is happening here?
And that's the thing. Like
and then too, I remember I brought it up here before. I love how Walter technically doesn't have a finisher. It's just whatever he just chooses to beat you with.
It's like, hey, fuck
it. Because we knew Ilya's finisher is that Torpedo Moscow, which he did hit a couple of times.
Yes.
And I thought he was going to have to hit a top rope Torpedo Moscow to finish it. But fuck, the fact that they was just going on and on and on, like, fuck.
Yeah. And just the shots alone, it was just like, yeah, again, just like how the first match that they had was. It was like, yo, like if y'all are trying to convince me that y'all just don't fucking like each other, y'all won. Because I believe like y'all had an argument in Gorilla and y'all was like, fuck, we're gonna have this match anyway, whatever, and then just went at it. Because you think about, Walter's match with Tyler Bate, you think about his match with Pete Dunne. Yeah, those look like structured matches. They didn't look like he hated them. It's just like, yo, you're just gonna get the business this way.
And and only because they happen on only because they happen in the same weekend. When are we ever gonna get a fight like that in WWE?
Never.
When are we ever gonna get two men or women just beat the shit out of each other?
They I don't know if Kevin Dunn has the capacity to be in production and like stomach that to the point to where it's like, oh shit, this is on national television. Even though NXT is too, but because of how they view things, I think they may put that in like the too brutal category.
Probably.
Which I hate because I think that they would benefit a lot from it, i.e. AEW's unsanctioned matches, which are just,
brutal.
Yeah, but this is what I go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I said this is what I hate about the potential revamping, because we could potentially lose all of this.
Right?
Like there is a potential for us to have Walter versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Which is very fantastic on that end. We have the potential to see Walter versus Kyle O'Reilly. And I say that only because Kyle O'Reilly looks like he is like on the verge of death, and Walter looks like he's the type of person that's going to put somebody on the verge of death. So that whole combination of a match, like that would get Kyle O'Reilly over as a baby face.
Yes.
Because you would definitely get some sympathy from a Walter beating.
That he survived a beat down of Walter, whether he win or lose.
Yes. Matter of fact, NXT booked that shit. That's your match right there. Next takeover. That's your match. Number one contenders match to go against Samoa Joe. There you go.
But can we revel in the fact of how Ilya beat Samoa Joe?
Oh, be Walter, yeah.
His big ass up in a sleeper hold.
Well, what I liked is how he was trying to put him in the choke, and then that didn't work. But then he started raining down like forearms on him, and then just picked them up out of just fucking anger. And I was just like, yo, I believe every bit of that.
Every bit of that, and he just was like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, fuck you. And that boy, as soon as he was lifted up, Walter, oh no.
Yeah, no. Like, yes. The first, so the fact that he tapped him out.
Yes.
Perfect. So
then took the belt, 1 foot on Walter, held it up, and was like, I am your new king.
And gave that battle cry.
I am your new king.
Loved it.
870-day reign. Walter
definitely
killed that 870 days as champ. That is crazy.
He is the longest reigning champ in modern.
Oh, the modern era, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's well deserved for Walter as well, definitely. So, but that was definitely our main event for NXT TakeOver 36. Definitely a good watch. Definitely a palate cleanser from what we got on SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which I'm so glad that they switched these shows.
Me too. Because if I would have saw that shit yesterday, this podcast would have been different today.
I second that. I definitely second that.
No,
we probably would have just covered TakeOver 36 instead, and not even talked about SummerSlam.
Yeah, this podcast would have been mighty different.
But yeah, as far as the overall weekend, do y'all have any final thoughts?
Walter and Dragunov match of the year.
Yeah. And then SummerSlam. Yeah, and you know what I'll say? Most disappointing SummerSlam I've seen yet.
Oh, and Bianca, I'm still here with you, baby girl. I hope this doesn't deter you and make you feel so much down or whatever. But obviously, the company still believes in you to an extent. I will forever be a stand for Bianca Belair, black girl magic all day. So, but my heart hurt for you for what happened Saturday. It still hurts.
Definitely. And I can it's not necessary for me to say this, but just for the moment and for the weekend, justice for Bianca.
Justice for Bianca.
But yeah, I mean, TakeOver 36. But as good as the show that was, a lot of this weekend was overshadowed by the return of CM Punk. And he didn't even have to get in the ring and get physical. He really just came back and laid a fire ass promo. But I'm sorry, let me not even say fire. Let me say impassioned promo.
Yes.
And
he paid for the ice cream bars himself.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Apparently, the story came out with that company he got with. He paid for the bars himself. And then the company has said, ironically, they talked about this 2 years ago.
Yeah, he said it was something that he felt like to give back to the fans. It's like if you watch the call he did with Tony Khan after Rampage, he goes over all of that, and it's pretty dope. But yeah, so I look forward to a lot of stuff regarding Punk. I know this isn't that conversation, but I really do hope for the best for NXT moving forward. I hope that this revamp is not a Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Laurinaitis, and Nick Khan revamp to where we just get absolutely trash to the point to where we don't even want to cover this shit anymore. But
fingers crossed.
But yeah, main roster, I don't fucking know. My hands just go up from that shit because I guess we won't know anything until like I guess the draft happens, whenever that happens. So yeah, but regardless, that's my 2 cents on it. But Scoot, let these people know where they can find you and where WWE can get the smoke from over the Bianca shit.
You know, cut all the gimmicks aside like I normally do. Simply at the Scooter Ray. IG, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. Anybody who believed that was a right move or right call, please let me know. Let me know, and I can tell you why you're wrong. Plain and simple, I can tell you why you're wrong for that decision they made of Becky, Barry, and Bianca. But of course, outside of T.A.G and outside of myself, you can find me with the ninjas. Shouts out to Aranya, Boss, and Zerk.
Yep.
We're on those same platforms. Yep. We're also on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. We should be hitting y'all with another Ninja Banter episode pretty soon, either this week or next week. Got to see how everybody's schedules align because we got a big show planned, and gonna be like a lot of people on that show. I don't want to let you know exactly who all's gonna be on there, but there's gonna be a lot of people on that episode. So we got that coming down the pipeline pretty soon. But that's where you can find me.
Indeed.
But to pass it on to who the ladies always come to see.
Oh,
the heartthrob.
This guy right there.
Look at those lovely ladies. Find you at.
Well, if there's any ladies that believe that Becy Lynch winning in that terrible way, yeah, there's really only one thing that you can do, and that's join the Kiss My Ass Club. Now, for everybody else that would like to talk to me about it, just like Scoot, I mean, you can holler at Scoot, you can holler at Lip, you can holler at me. But if you want to holler at me, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I mean, if you want to game with me about it and do like some kind of like 1v1 to try and prove a point, don't know how that actually makes sense, but hey, you can do it at the Xbox or the PlayStation. Jaeger Bombastic, all under that umbrella.
Indeed. True story.
But if y'all are just too upset about everything that's been going on that Saturday night, and you need something to, I don't know, boost your spirits, lift your soul, I think you can. I think you can go and talk to this gentleman right up here.
Yeah, that message is specifically primarily to Bianca as well. Come get it, come get that positivity.
Yes.
Yeah, Lifestyle One Up on all your podcast listening platforms, as well as the IGs, the TikToks, Twitter, the YouTube officially.
YouTube, though.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to be content all around. So it's just there's no excuse for you not to get some positivity. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. But if you just want to shoot the shit, just like Jaeger, if you want a game, so I'll even throw the gaming IDs on here. It's not IDs. It's really just one. It's Lip Dizzle. That's really it. I should be the only Lip Dizzle any and everywhere. So I would hope that I'm not being cloned out here in these streets. But yeah, IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all that good shit. Shoot me everything. And for all you WWE stans out there, please come converse with me. Prove me wrong. I welcome it all.
Bring the smoke.
I just want some understanding. And if you're Nick Khan,
go fuck yourself.
You know what? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Go fuck yourself. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but what you're doing to this company is not good, man. Not good at all. But anyway, to leave on a
honorable mention. Xavier fucking Woods.
Oh, so I was giving it to Aranya, but it's cool.
Hold on, I just got Xavier Woods.
Ooh.
Yeah, came in there.
Xavier Woods. That's all I'm gonna say. If you didn't see SummerSlam, the segment was stupid, but Xavier Woods' outfit.
Hey yo.
But yes, go ahead and get to what you were about to
say. But yeah, honorable mention also goes to Aranya. Shout out for sticking with the squad. Also, yeah, to end on a positive note, I give it 2 sweet to my bros because it's always about the squad all day, every day. But we also come here and we do this for y'all. So first and foremost, regardless of everything that we've said, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, comment all your opinions, comments, concerns down below. Hit that notification bell for all the updates on everything that we churn out over here at the Average Gamers community. And more importantly, motherfucking subscribe. But
do it.
Don't be stingy with your subscriptions. Just subscribe. It's simple click. It's a simple.
Again, we always love that you do it for Loki. We love that you come on here and you listen to us and you watch this shit. But subscribe, add to the community so you can spread the word and get and help us build this tag army. That's what we want to do. But either way, until you hear these fantastic, immaculate voices and you see these handsome faces again, I bid you all adieu. And until next time, taggeth the fucketh out.